After years of waiting, the Minecraft movie has finally hit theaters. Even though the film sticks closely to a lot of things from the game, it did make a few changes.
Anything you can dream about here, you can make.
Did you catch the differences between the Minecraft movie and the game?
Who are you?
I am Steve.
If you ask who's the main villain in Minecraft, there are actually two answers. Some players will say the game doesn't really have a villain at all because it doesn't even have an actual storyline. Others will say the main antagonist is the Ender Dragon, the giant dragon that lives in the End Dimension. Both answers are correct in a way. Well, that's if we're talking about the game, because in Minecraft the movie, the only right answer is that the movie's villain is Malgosha. She rules over the Nether and leads the Piglins, as well as all the other creatures from that dimension, in an all-out attack on the Overworld. What's interesting is that this character never existed in the game before. She was created just for the movie to give the main characters a bigger challenge. But let's be honest, she fits perfectly as a Minecraft movie villain, especially since she absolutely hates creativity, and the whole game is all about freedom and creativity. What are the chances we'll see her show up in the game in some future update? Even if she never becomes an official boss, you can bet some fan is already working on a mod to add her unofficially. If someone hasn't done it already, that is. There are so many Minecraft mods out there that it's pretty much impossible to know them all. And that's just the first difference between the game and the Minecraft movie. There's plenty more to come. So get ready to dive in, because this is another Cinewave video. The biggest changes Minecraft the movie brought are definitely tied to its storyline because, well, the game doesn't really have a story. Steve simply shows up in a blocky world and has to figure out how to survive, but we have no clue where he came from or how he ended up there. In the movie though, they actually explain this. Both Steve and the other main characters come from the real world. So in this version of the story, our world is just one of the alternate dimensions you can reach through portals, just like the Nether or the End. Even though this is something the movie came up with, there were already tons of theories about the player character being someone from the real world who somehow ended up in the Minecraft universe. Especially since there aren't any NPCs that look like player characters. The closest you get are the villagers, but they've got their own unique look, like their giant heads and big noses. So it actually makes a lot of sense to think that Steve came from a completely different universe. What do you think? Do you agree? Or would you have preferred they went with a different origin for him? Some people like the idea that Steve was born right in the Minecraft world, as the last surviving member of his species. Maybe the filmmakers didn't go with that story because it feels a bit too sad. In Minecraft the movie, there's this massive rivalry between the Overworld and the Nether. Actually, calling it a rivalry is putting it lightly. There's a full-on war happening between these two dimensions. Since we're bringing this up in this video, you've probably already guessed this is something made up for the movie. In the games, the Nether isn't exactly a friendly place. Going there without good gear is super risky, but the Nether creatures aren't interested in starting a war. In fact, they don't even try to invade the main Minecraft dimension. Pretty different from the movie, where an entire army storms out of the Nether to attack the Overworld. However, this isn't 100% original to the movie. Even though it doesn't happen in the main game, the Nether War does happen in a spin-off called Minecraft Legends. The movie's production team decided to borrow elements from other games in the franchise to build the movie's storyline, since the main game has the least amount of built-in lore. And fun fact, Malgosha, the movie's main villain, was actually inspired by a character from Minecraft Legends, the Seer. The main characters are also a massive change, since none of them existed before. They were all created just for the movie. The only character who already existed is Steve, but the movie's main cast was designed to represent different kinds of Minecraft players. Garrett, played by Jason Momoa, is a former pro gamer who was a big deal back in the 80s, meaning he's an old school gamer getting introduced to Minecraft. Then there's Henry, who represents the younger Minecraft players, especially the ones who create mods, since he's a super creative and clever kid. He's played by Sebastian Hansen, while his overprotective sister Natalie is played by Emma Myers, who became super popular after playing Enid in Wednesday on Netflix. And let's not forget Dawn, the most skeptical member of the main group. She's played by Danielle Brooks, who starred in tons of hit shows and movies. It actually makes a lot of sense for the movie to bring in new characters for the story. They could have made Steve the main character, but if it were just him, things might have gotten a bit boring after a while. You could even say these new characters represent co-op gameplay, since Minecraft also works great as a multiplayer game. And thinking even further, since Steve has been in this world for years, it's kind of like he's the experienced player inviting some friends to join him on his old server. If you've ever played Minecraft multiplayer, you've probably been in this exact situation before. So what about you? Would you want to jump into the Minecraft world and go on an adventure? If you would, drop a comment below with #Minecraft. The change that caught people's attention the most is that Minecraft the movie is way more realistic than the game. Not that the filmmakers were trying to make it 100% like real life or anything like that, far from it. But still, if you compare it to the game, it's clear the movie feels much more realistic. For one thing, they used real-life actors instead of blocky CGI characters. Only the monsters and the villagers are animated. The environments still keep that blocky, cartoony look, but they've got way more detail than in the game. Even if you download a realistic graphics mod, your game won't look anything like the movie. Another change, and a pretty big one, is that the characters can't respawn. In the original game, whenever a player dies, they come back to life. And it's not just some game mechanic where the timeline resets to the last save point or anything like that. The game simply keeps going, and the player drops their items and respawns at their last respawn point, which is usually their bed. You can even head back to where you died to grab your stuff and try to beat the enemies that took you down. In the movie though, things seem to work differently. Both the new characters and even Steve himself are afraid of losing their lives, which means none of them get a second chance. Steve's been living in that world for years, so he definitely would have said something if players could come back to life in Minecraft. Then again, the game does have hardcore mode, where all the mobs are tougher and you can't respawn. So does that mean they're basically playing hardcore in this movie? If that's the case, it's kind of amazing that no one's died yet. Minecraft has a massive number of items you can craft at the crafting table. Tons of weapons, armor, and tools made from different materials, each with their own unique uses. But even with all these options, the movie didn't just stick to what already existed in the game and decided to bring in brand new items. In one scene, Garrett ends up building, completely by accident, a double bucket contraption connected by a chain, something no one ever even dreamed of seeing in the game. Henry, on the other hand, took it even further by using items he brought from Earth to build a potato launcher. That means while there's a limited number of items you can create in the game, the movie universe lets players invent totally new items, as long as they're creative enough. Besides the original items, the movie also introduced objects that only exist in spin-offs. The speed boots, which are exclusive to Minecraft Dungeons, make an appearance. Henry actually uses those boots to build a super fast iron golem, something that's definitely not in the original game. And let's not forget, one of the movie's most important items also comes from a spin-off. The Orb of Dominance, which is used to create portals between the real world and the Minecraft universe, was also featured in 2 of the spin-off games we already mentioned, Dungeons and Legends. But in those games, its function is to grant the user nearly unlimited power. Woodland mansions are already some of the most dangerous places in the Minecraft world, but they're even more intense in the movie, especially because, in this version, there are Endermen inside. Totally different from the game, where you normally wouldn't see those creatures in the mansions at all. If you want to discover even more awesome facts like this one, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you'll never miss our daily videos. Trust me, you won't regret it. Speaking of Endermen, they went through some pretty major changes. In the game, the only power these monsters have is teleportation, but in the movie, they've got a totally bizarre new ability. They can make their victims see illusions. They were already creepy enough as it is, but they found a way to make them even scarier. Have you ever seen a pink sheep while playing Minecraft? If your answer is no, don't feel bad at all because they're super rare. They've only got a 0.164% chance of spawning. Unless, of course, we're talking about the Minecraft the movie universe. In this version, pink sheep aren't just easy to find, they're actually more common than white sheep, showing up way more often throughout the film. Other sheep colors do appear, but just in the background, while the pink ones totally steal the spotlight. That's a pretty curious change, right? Maybe someone on the production team just really loves pink sheep and thought it was unfair how rare they are in the game. Another small change is with the flowers. If you open up your Minecraft game and grab some flowers, you'll notice something interesting. They're all 2D and made with pixel art. That had to be changed for the movie though, since it wouldn't have made much sense to leave the flowers as flat 2D objects. Unless they really wanted to stay 100% faithful to the game, but that's clearly not the case here, so the flowers were turned into 3D models instead. We've left 2 super fun videos on your screen. Just click one of them if you want to keep having fun. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.